Howdy, your oh so glorious and beloved Mace Valor, as always. And I am still looking at vehicles, and it's kind of a headache, I'm not gonna lie, but it is what it is. They're closed today. The damn what is that thing called? The impound. I was gonna go check out the impound, but I might actually drop by tomorrow morning just to take a look. But let's see. There's also the auction. There's a Dodge Caliber at the auction. I think it's a 2008. Lot number 7. Its current bid $700. So that. Oh boy, I don't think I'm gonna be able to make it to that one. It's lot number 7, and I believe that it's on Tuesday. I could probably make it to that. Hold on. I'm gonna check my work schedule, which for the most part is non-existent, but I do know that I'm pretty sure I have something on that day. Tasker profile. It's not showing me my actual schedule on the computer. I might be able to go on Tuesday. I have a VA appointment tomorrow that I have to go to, but my max bid for this would be $1,800 because there's a buyer premium of 10%. So that'd be another $180 on top of it. So, but yeah, I'm taking a look, and it's basically exactly what I'm looking for. It's got 172,000 miles, so I don't really want to pay more than 18 for it. The buyer's premium is just the nature of the auction. It's essentially how the auction makes money. They do a charge to the buyer, and they also charge the seller as well. There's also a seller's premium with these things. This is how auctions work. So it's a nice Ford Focus. It's an 03 though. I'd probably go maybe 1,000, but I wouldn't go higher than that. And there's this Nissan Maximum here. I'd probably go as high as $2,000 for that, to be perfectly honest. It's an 04, but it's got low miles, 136,000. So I could easily say an $2,000 for that bad boy. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go to the auction on Tuesday, just to kind of get a look, place a bid. Yeah, I think a Japanese car would be best. I mean, I'm kind of partial to Dodges because all of the Dodges that I've ever owned were good. The Avenger was stellar. I never had a problem with it, but once again, it was brand new. And the Durango, it was old. It was no 08. It was over 200,000 miles, but for a vehicle over 200,000 miles, and the only issue I ever had with it was the alternator. That was it. So I mean, that I loved it. The only thing about the Durango I didn't like was the gas mileage. The gas mileage was fucking horrible. But that's kind of what you get when you get a larger SUV like that. SUV like that, like a Durango or even like a Expedition, those SUVs, they're kind of built for like long hauls and, like towing stuff. Like they're a lot heavier, they're a lot bigger, but they're designed for those use cases. And for the use case that I have, I just can't warrant having a vehicle that big. I don't even have a ladder anymore. It's like, and then there's this Kia Soul, 2012. Yeah, so a Toyota would be nice. Well, a Nissan, Hyundai, or a Kia. So Japanese or Korean car would be great. But So I'm kind of going through here. Some of them, there's no way. Oh, quality to price ratio. Yeah, I've owned a Hyundai before too, and that it was a Elantra, and I love that damn thing. It's an '08. Ah. So lot one, I'm gonna kind of just scroll down through these. Lot number one is 05 Audi A4, and the current bid 650. It says its retails 370. It's probably gonna go maybe 1400. I can't, it's no spring chicken. It's definitely got some wear on it, some cosmetic damage and whatnot. And you don't ever know what's under the hood with these things. They start them up for you, but that's about it. Yeah, Camry would be good. So here's the thing, man. It's like I would like a crossover or an SUV, provided that it could get decent gas mileage. But I'm not holding myself to that, because if I hold myself to that, I'll never get a car within my price range. That's why the Caliber at that price point is like the one thing that I'm kind of leaning towards more than anything else. And then if I talk about more of a normal sedan, because the Caliber is interesting because it's not an SUV, but it's not a sedan. But I wouldn't necessarily call it a crossover because it doesn't have a tremendous amount of room in the back. So it's kind of like a sedan hatchback in a way. They're really bizarre cars. They really are, and they canceled them for a myriad of different reasons. They did have some suspension problems. That was probably the big thing. That the big issue with those is all through like every line of the Dodge Caliber, every single line has suspension problems. So that's the only thing. That's the only reason why I wouldn't want to pay any more than like 18 for it, because down the line I'm probably gonna have to get an alignment sooner rather than later. So you got to think about these costs, Oh, yeah. So let's go back. Where are we? Actually, I'm going to copy this. I'm going to put it in the chat if you guys want to follow along. Let me kind of load this up. Bum, ba, ba, bum, 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 ba. Bum, ba, ba, bum, ba, 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 ba. My channel, yes. Oh, damn it. Hold on. I don't want to have to. Shorten URL. Cut. Paste. So that's the link. Hopefully it popped up for you guys. No, it's not letting me fucking post links. That's great. You can't post a link. Oh wait, there it is. Sweet. Nice big delay. What do you guys got going on today? How's the world working? All right, 2008 Toyota Prius. Retail 5,300. Current bid is, this thing's probably going to go close to $3,000 because it's a fucking Prius. The thing with me and the Prius is I wouldn't mind getting one, but when that hybrid battery goes out, it's only a matter of time. They don't last for fucking ever. So whether it's 100,000 miles or 400,000 miles, sooner or later that battery's going to need to be replaced. The batteries for that alone are $5,000. And this one's at 159,000 miles. I mean, within the next 100,000 miles, you might have to change out that battery. So when you think of these things, it's like in 2 years, if I still have this car, am I going to want to pay $5,000 to get the fucking battery replaced? I don't know. 2012 Nissan Altima. What we got here? Retails estimate is 6,100. Current bid 1,650. That's going to inch up. That's easily going to be close, if not above, $3,000. Remember, it's an auction, so people don't want to spend crazy money on these cars. PT Cruiser, no thank you. Lincoln Town Car, get away from me. Neon and an Infinity FX, 2004. Has navigation in it. Dude, this thing's gonna go, man. It's like, the bidding's already at $2,050. Like, this thing's gonna go. Looks great. Looks in good shape. So knowing that it has that navigation pre-built in, that's like a big thing for people. People like the additions, especially when they're going to these auctions. It's like they're going for just a standard car, but any like icing on the cake, they're gonna take, you know. What about cheap cars from Craigslist? You might get really lucky in an auction. You might end up paying more. That's why, like, I'm thinking about 1,800 for this Dodge, because this is an 08 Dodge with 72,000 miles. My guy, what's up, brother? What's up? Ronnie, welcome to the club. Welcome to the party. We're looking at vehicles today. Well, I am. I mean, not so much you guys. I put a link in chat. That's kind of where I'm looking at Nellis auction. I'm going to go on lot number 7 is what I'm bidding for. Kind of yes and no. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of stuff, but I'm not seeing anything for my price range that works. It's like anything that's around my price range, there's one issue or another. Like, it needs, like, and we're talking like, it's one thing if like the tires need to be changed within the next year. I can deal with that, you know. Or it's like, hey, the brakes are kind of squeaky, but the rest of it fucking works. It's like, all right, I'll spend however much money to get the brakes replaced. Like, these things are normal things that cars that are at like 150,000 miles plus need to have addressed on them. But a lot of these things is it doesn't pass smog, or there's an oil leak, or it's leaking transmission fluid, like all these kinds of crazy shits. But that's the thing. This is what I'm talking about on Craigslist. It's like, my thing is time is very valuable, and I do not like being out in the public very often. So I limit myself when I go out and about. So when I look at Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, OfferUp, 5 Miles, Letgo, like all these different apps, people posting all their cars. There's two things that I'm looking for. You know, I talk to these people. We have a little dialogue back and forth. Number one, smog. Does it pass smog? If it can pass smog, that's the number one concern out the window. Secondary thing, what are the issues with it? Oh, well, when it goes over 60 miles an hour, it starts rattling really hard. It's like, okay, well, there's some transmission issues there. Or it's like, oh, every now and then black smoke will come out of the exhaust. It's like, well, I don't like that. You know, like, these are all like things that I keep an eye out for. Another thing about all these sites and stuff like Google, Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, whatever, is dealers. Years ago when I was looking at cars, it wasn't as bad as it is now. Dealers nowadays, like, because a lot of people aren't, they're willing to go away from the dealership. You know, it's like, why am I going to a dealership for a used car? A lot of people are gravitating towards the internet way of things. And dealerships have noticed that. So what dealerships are doing is they're flooding at least 80%, and 80%, like 80% of all postings I see on Craigslist, Facebook, all this stuff, it's all dealerships, and they throw out the gate. Like, if I type in my search, oh, minimum 1,000, maximum 2,000, you know, put the year or whatever, and then I throw it out there, you'll get someone right in the middle. They'll be like 40, 50 listings, and it's like all the same fucking car. That's another thing that, like, they just take a bunch of pictures of all the cars on the lot. And then in the title and the description, like $1,500, and then you go in the description, it lists all these great things about the car, call so and so, blah 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 blah. And then at the very end of it, when you're probably not going to read that far, it says, by the way, 1,500, it's only a down payment. You still get, we don't worry, we finance, good credit, bad credit, blah 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 blah. And it's like, I want to buy outright. I don't want to fucking be tied into you guys. Also, I don't want my insurance premium to triple just because it's financed. So here's a Nissan Maximum, retail 3,500. Current bid is 1,550. It's an 04. That'll probably sell pretty good. That's probably gonna go upwards of 23, 24. So we got a 08 Audi A4. That's 2,150. Whoops. No, I do filter by owner, and I still see that because they don't care. They'll say that they're the owner and that they want to get the post out. No matter how I filter it, like even on Facebook Marketplace, what they'll do is dealerships or people that work at dealerships on their own private Facebook page, their profile, they'll throw it out there. So right now I am looking at either a Dodge Avenger or a Dodge Caliber. I am open to something else, but for my price range, I've seen other vehicles within the last month sell in my price range for those vehicles. Well, so here's the thing. If I wanted something to last me only 6 months, I would lower my budget. I'm looking for something for at least a year. I'm not looking for something just for right now. I'm projecting out for the next year, which is why my price point's at $2,000. And you got to remember, I would prefer less. Obviously, the sweet spot would be 15, 16, pushing it up to 18. That's why when I go to this auction, my max bid for this Caliber is going to be 1,800. I really don't want to push it more than that because you also have to pay the buyer's premium as well. And that's 10% of whatever the bid price is. So whatever you bid, you got to add 10% on top of it. My phone's overheating because it's light. Hold on. So, and even if I bid 1,800, then it's damn near $2,000 anyway. So, but yeah, there's some like Mazdas. I would kill for a Mazda. I'd love Mazdas, good vehicles. But and manual. No, I don't want. I know how to drive a manual, but I would prefer not to. If I had a choice, I would not drive manual. Just don't want to fuck with it. I'm good. Pass. You know what I mean? Let's see what else we got here. I don't know a whole lot about Chevys. Every time I hear someone talk about a Chevy that they own, they always talk shit about it. Kias are good. This Kia Rondo. Let me see what we got. It's an 09 Kia Rondo. Let's take a look at your gas mileage. 20 city, 27 highway. It's not the best. Let's just type in MPG. It doesn't give me an overall. I would say it's about 22. Let's say it's 22 miles to the gallon. It's Kia Rondo. Let's see. We got something good shape. Yeah, I'm looking at the pictures. It's an ugly fucking car. I'm not gonna lie, but it is a car nonetheless. Not a whole lot of room in the back seat. It's got a hatchback. That's kind of cool. I like that. I like bring the back door up. I like that. But yeah, it's an ugly ass car, man. But beggars can't be choosers. Oh, the inside's kind of fucked. I don't know. Oh, I wouldn't want to pay that much for that shit, dude. Ugh. Kias are good vehicles. I would love a Kia Soul. I'm telling you, if I had an extra $1,000 to my budget, I could easily get a Kia Soul because they all sell for like around 3,000, not less. Like I think 3,000 is like kind of like the cheap end for them, but not a lot of people sell them. You go on Facebook and Craigslist and all this stuff, people aren't getting rid of their souls. No shit. People aren't getting rid of their souls, so. Ooh, 117,000 miles for this 2003 Honda Santa Fe? What's wrong with you? Once again, this Honda Santa Fe, not a very pretty car, but it's a very pretty price point. It gets about the same MPG as the Rondo. Ah, that engine, man. There we go. See, when you look under the hood, there's certain things to keep an eye out for. So certain coloration, right? So I see a whole bunch of weird like colors and stuff. Now it could just be dust and mud and stuff, whatever. But it looks like something sprayed on the inside of that. Now the listing says it runs, but I don't know. Like that doesn't bode very well. It might be like a leak in one of the hoses or something. I mean, other than that, the inside looks good. The outside, cosmetically, it looks good. But looking at that engine, there's probably a reason why it's selling for that. Chevy Cobalt. Are those any good? Let's find out. 95,000 miles for an 09 Chevy Cobalt. What's the gas mileage on you? 25 city, 37 highway. That's not bad at all, dude. Current bid is $1,050. Its estimated retail is $4,500. This might not be a bad one to look out for, especially with that amount of miles. It's under 100K, man. Oh, fuck me. Yeah, never mind. It's a stick shift. Walking away. Yeah, there's a Kia Soul right here. It's bid. Now the auction's in 2 days, right? Its already current bid is $2,250. It's gonna need some work for sure, hoses and stuff. Like little things that I can take care of, I don't mind addressing. Like if there's like some hoses or something that I could change out on my own, that's fine, you know. But it's like I can't work on a fucking engine, you know. I mean, I can't even fucking change brakes. I mean, technically I could. I can get the jack out, pull it up, blah 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 blah. But I ain't got time for that. Time or patience, and I don't really have any automotive tools. All my tools are like for handyman shit. And I don't mind paying a mechanic to take care of it. Speaking of gig economy, I used Wrench, which is kind of like TaskRabbit for cars, and I had one of their independent contractor mechanics come out, and that dude, he spent 4 hours working on the Ranger, and ultimately what happened is the ignition switch. I had bought it when I changed out the starter, and it still wouldn't work. I was like, what the hell? So I changed out the ignition switch and it still didn't work. So he took out the new the last thing he did after working on the car for us, he took out the new ignition switch and put in the old one, and it magically fucking worked. And I was like, you gotta be kidding me. You have got to be like, how the fuck, man? But I tipped him and everything. Like I wasn't even mad. I was like, it's one of those crazy car mystery things, you know, because it wasn't running. I had already paid like $250 just for the starter alone, and it's like, you know, I wanted to make sure that I could at least get it to run. And I don't care what he did, but it wasn't running when I was working on it. And Neil even told me that I hooked everything up just right, so he had no idea why it wasn't working. Yeah, there's some Infinitis, some Mercedes on here. Truck shit itself again? Foibles, where have you been? I haven't had the Durango in months. I sold the Durango in August because all right, so here's what happened to the Durango for everyone that's interested. When I had the Durango, the damn alternator went out. And fortunately, it went out at the gas station right by the apartment complex. Because I basically went to get gas that day. So I had the missus come over. She gave me a jump. It gave it just enough juice just to get back here. And once I got it back here, it just wasn't running at all. I ran some diagnostics on it. It was the alternator. So an alternator for it, because I needed one sooner rather than later. To get a replacement alternator would have been at like AutoZone or O'Reilly's was like $150. Probably could have got one used from somewhere or whatever for a little bit cheaper, but let's for sake of argument, let's just round it out and say $100. Then I would have had to install the damn thing, and remember, I don't have any automotive tools. I take my handyman tools and I apply them the best that I can to working on whatever vehicle I'm working on. And it's done me fine so far. But and I'm not saying I wouldn't have been able to do it. I could have done it, but I didn't have the money to get the damn thing in the first place. So I couldn't pay for the fucking alternator. Here's my situation. I needed an alternator. I'll tell you in just a sec. So I needed an alternator. My insurance was going to be due, and registration was coming up as well. So that was a lot all at once. The insurance, yeah, it's a monthly thing, but then it's like I can pay for the alternator but not pay for registration. I can pay for registration but then not have an alternator. I'm just going to get rid of the car altogether. So I X-nay having to pay registration. I X-nay having to fucking pay for the alternator. And I save an additional $250 a month because I don't have to pay for the insurance. So I ended up selling the car for around $600. That was a whole fucking shit show. I'll probably have a story time about that in the future. I'm still a little salty about that whole situation. But yeah, man, that's kind of like how it boiled down is I ended up getting rid of it. So, and I love that car. And the guy that bought it, the next day, he came and put a new alternator in it and then drove it off. It's like, dude, you got a screaming deal. Like, literally, that was all that was wrong with it. Like, I could have easily charged $1,000, $1,200 for it, and someone would have taken it. Like, literally, the only thing that's wrong with it is cosmetic damage. Other than that, the fucking thing screams, So, the guy got a banging deal out of it, and $600 is better than nothing. So, because it's not running. Doesn't matter if it's the simplest thing in the world or not. Yeah, used car parts, no. Like, I'm one of those guys where it's like, if you can afford to buy it new, buy it new. If you can afford to save up to buy it new, buy it new. Yeah, there's a lot of pros to buying things used, but as a consumer, it's best to get it brand new because then you as the consumer, as a first-time purchaser, you can at least work with the manufacturer if there's ever an issue. So I put a link. If you scroll up, there's a link to the actual Nellis Auctions website that I'm looking at right now. So bid number 7 is the one that we're taking a look at. Well, that's the one that that's the one. So when I go there, my idea is, all right, I want to have a couple cars I want to bid on. And as they come through, I'll place my bids. So fortunately, lot number 7, the Dodge Caliber, that's that first one, right? I'm going to bid that up to $1,800. Anything more than that, it's going to cost way too much because the buyer's premium. So I can't do more than 18 on it. And so if that one falls through, I'm going to move on to the next one. Current bids at $700. If I were to go there and if I could steal that thing for 14, I would be fucking ecstatic, dude. Like, you have no idea. Because it's like, I don't often have this much money on me at one time. I don't. But when I do, I know that it's fleeting because it's going to evaporate. So I would rather I would like to hold on to some of this. You know, I don't want to just, it's like months and months of saving, and it's going to be all gone the moment I buy a fucking car. So I want to make sure I get a good deal. So it's just kind of where I'm at with it. If I can get a good deal for less, then hell yeah. Especially with the move coming up, we're going to be moving around June. So I'm just racking my brain with it. So, I mean, on one hand, what if I waited another month? Try to save up another $1,000, or try to, pinch pennies just a little more just to get a better deal. Well, then that's $1,000 that takes away from the move. I thought about that. That's why I might as well just get something within the next week, 2 weeks. So, and 2,000 is the max. If it's a really, really good fucking deal, I'll pay just 200. I absolutely need a car in the next 2 weeks. Not right this very fucking second, but I definitely need a car within the next 2 weeks. So, because I've been driving my girlfriend's Mazda for so long now. I'm thankful for it, but it's extremely unfair to her to be without a vehicle for these many months. And I don't want to keep doing that to her. It's unfair to her, and I appreciate her letting me use it for the time that I've been able to use it. But it's time. I believe, she believes, we all agree it's time we have the money. Let's get a replacement car. Also, I'm a very independent person. I like to have my own vehicle. When I'm driving my own vehicle, I feel better about me. It boosts my self-worth and self-esteem and all that stuff. I'm very independent. Um, you know, and it's just overall, it's just better for me to have my own vehicle, especially since I have money and there's no excuses or anything. We had arguments for months about it, and it's like, I don't want to drive the Mazda, but we kind of have no choice. Now we have a choice. That's why I'm spending so much damn time looking for a vehicle. I've kind of become obsessed over it. I'm trying to take it easy and not stress about it too much, but I'm weighing my options. I really am, even though, yeah, I might be leaning towards the Caliber or an Avenger. At the same time, I'm looking at what else is out there. And the reason why I'm leaning towards those is because from the sales that I've seen for the past month, those are the ones that have been fitting my budget. And those are cars I'm familiar enough with to, hey, I don't mind paying this much for this car because I've driven it before. But some of these cars, like, people are like, what like, people ask crazy amounts of money for such a piece of shit. It really astounds me. Nellis auction, so that's the one we're really gonna hit pretty hard. And tomorrow, probably tomorrow morning before my job. No, wait. I think what I'll do is I'll go to the job tomorrow at 11. Because that's probably I could probably knock it out in an hour. It's just a Calyx cube thing. So I'm going to knock that out, and then I'm going to head to the next one. Well, not the next one. I have a VA appointment at 4. So if I can get done with that job between 12 and 12:30, I think I'll head to the impound, see what they have there. Yeah. Yeah, I'll try that. I'll try the impound lot before I try the I'll keep an eye on I'm going to go to the impound. Like, here's the plan. I'm going to go to the impound lot because I told myself I would. I want to at least see what they have there. And, if they have something worthwhile, then sure, maybe I'll come back. But I want to hit the impound lot, and I want to hit the, what's that place called? The Nellis auction. I want to go to the auction. If come Tuesday afternoon, if the current bid is like around 15, yeah, I'll go check it out. But even still, like I'm looking at it, they want 31. Like the estimated retail value is 3,100. I don't know, man. I don't like. We'll see. Come Tuesday around noon, I'll pull up the website and hey, if the current bid is like $1,300, I'll waste my time to go out there. I'll bid it up to 18. You know, that's kind of where I'm at. The one thing about this 2008 Dodge Caliber that I do not like, it's an automatic, but the number one thing about this car that fucking it makes me not even want to waste my time going to bid on it. I'm going to show you a picture and I want you to tell me, what is it about this car that makes me not want to waste a single penny on it? You tell me, what's wrong with this picture? It's okay, I'll wait. Some other pictures of it. It's not a bad looking whip. This is the one that's the problem. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Is that a fucking crack in the window? Hold on. Because I don't see it here. Is it just like a weird reflection? Please tell me that's just a reflection. Yeah, because in none of the pictures I don't see a crack. All right, since no one like is paying attention, it's the I don't know if that's a reflection or a crack because you see how it kind of splinters off down there. I mean, maybe it's a reflection. I'm not sure, but that looks like a crack to me. Yeah, like right here, all the way down. It's definitely a crack. Gig Stacker, what's up? What's wrong with this picture right here? Hold on. What's wrong with this picture? I don't want to have to fucking pay close to $2,000 for a car that I have to fucking roll the window up. Don't want to do it. I don't know. That looks like a crack, man. I'm telling you, that's got to be a crack. I'm not seeing it in any other pictures, but that definitely looks like a big old split. And it's like, I mean, you can get a windshield replaced for like $250, but that's still a lot of damn money, you know? Yeah, I don't know about this, man. I don't know about this. Yeah, maybe I'll just go to the impound and see what they do. I don't know, because a lot of these cars on the auction are just kind of, they're either way too expensive or they're just, I don't want nothing to do with it. Gig Stacker, what's up? That's an '08 Caliber, man. It's an '08 Caliber. Yeah, Mace is in the market for a car. Whoops, that was completely unintentional. Mace has money that I've been saving for months and months and months. And we finally got to our budgetary number for a vehicle. And as soon as I buy a vehicle, essentially all this is going to evaporate. If I can get a good deal and whittle the seller down a little bit, I might be able to save a little bit, but doubt it. We'll see what happens, though. Yeah, I'm just looking at cars, man, and it's just rough. It's just rough, man. Right here, we got this Nissan. Oh, I already looked at this thing earlier. Yeah, that was a big no-go. How are you doing, man? Dude, oh, man, I've been killing it on Fortnite. So I have a potato computer, right? Dude, we all want a Cybertruck, dude. Actually, that's one thing I did look into is an electric vehicle because like I know they have like the Nissan Leaf and like the Chevy Bolt or whatever the hell it's called. Like there are like lower end electric vehicles because part of the whole thing about me looking for a vehicle is I want something with better gas mileage, right? Because the Durango it was like $500 a month on average just to drive the damn thing, let alone insurance costs and all that other stuff. So I'm looking for something that's more fuel efficient. So looking into the electric car thing, I live in an apartment complex. There's nowhere here where I could charge it. Some apartment complexes in Las Vegas, they do have a designated charging station. You have to pay, you have to swipe your card, but they at least have that access there for you. The downside is my complex does not have that, and the closest place that has it is like probably about 2 miles from here. And it's like, okay, so what if I just drove this car? Well, I looked at the lower end, like electric vehicles, like the Nissan Leaf and stuff. They get like 150 miles, if that. Like, I think it's like 120 miles for a full charge. And they take like 9 hours to charge up all the way. Like they don't do any fast charging or anything. It's like a slow trickle. So these cars are designed to where you go home at night and plug it in. But that's not my use case, unfortunately. Whoa, no, go back. Okay. Run an extension cord out of the patio door. I mean, I could see maybe if I lived downstairs, it'd be a thing, but I can't have this big ass cord going out, you know. Police impound selling all kinds of running cars open to the public. So this is the impound lot that I'm going to. No BS. Everybody's approved. No BS. Come with cash to buy. Ask for me, Carlos. So I called Carlos, this impound lot, and like he was dealing with some other people or whatever. So it was like really fucking busy. So I was like, eh. All cars have titles. Well, I've never bought from an impound lot before. I've actually never been to an impound lot before. Hold on. Go back. Go back. Go back. Go back. You. Oh, you. They have a Dodge Caliber there. I don't like the color, but here, check this out. I was looking at this picture. They're trying to show off this Mercury or this Mercedes, but look. They have a Dodge Caliber there. So the impound lot is not an auction. You just go there and they're just trying to get rid of cars. I'm going to go and check it out, but my assumption is that they charge quite a bit. Is that they say, like on this listing, it says 1,500, right? It starts at 1,500 on up. So what they do is they Kelley Blue Book these cars and then sell them just under the Kelley Blue Book, which means that Caliber they're going to ask like around $3,000 for, and that's going to turn me off. I'm gonna be like, well, I'm not paying $3,000 for this thing. And the thing is, you can't test drive them. You come in, you buy it, and that's it. I think the most that they'll do is they'll let you sit in it, they'll let you turn it on, they'll like let you start it up, but that's it. They don't let you actually do anything else with it. So, and the hardest part is the logistics of once you actually buy it. So if let's say I were to go there and I got this Caliber for like $1,800, right? I'd be like, sweet, dope, cool, gotcha. Then I have to buy that car like in the morning because then I have to go to the DMV. I have to wait at the DMV. I have to get a moving permit. And then I have to move this from here to the DMV. Then I have to get it smog checked, right? You could probably go in with a mechanic if you wanted. I don't know any mechanics though. That's the other thing. I don't know any mechanics. So like I know enough about cars to kind of get a rough idea, but the like an actual like 5 minute diagnostic to see if there's anything that sticks out, I don't know that crazy amount. But that's why like a test drive is so critical, which that's the one thing about this that kind of leans me off. If I could get a good deal, then I'll just chance it. I'll fucking gamble. It's Vegas, right? But not being able to test drive it really kind of turns me off. So anyway. Oh, what else did I do? So I used to, did I have it written down? I don't know where I wrote it down. It's somewhere. I wanted to share this with you guys. Hold on. I don't know where I put anything. I wanted to share this with you guys if I can find it. It's so weird. I had the whole thing written down too. All right. Long story short is I've been having to go back and forth with my insurance companies, and I've talked to a whole bunch of them because every company has a different rate. I used to go with AAA. AAA was $230 a month. And I went with them because Progressive, who I used to be with, skyrocketed me from 220 all the way up to 260 at the end of my 6-month premium. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? So I then went with AAA. It was with AAA for like 6 months or whatever. The Durango died, so I left AAA. Now that I need a vehicle, and I need insurance for said vehicle, I've been getting quotes. And the quote I got from AAA was $512 a month. And that's for a yearly premium. And I asked them, where did this number come from? And they wouldn't tell me. It's like, oh, that's just the rate. That's just the rate that we plugged in the numbers. That's what we got. And I'm like, all right, you're useless. Forget this, kind of thing. Like, if you're not gonna like try to sell me on this, like the least you could do is like tell me why the. Anyway, such a headache. So, and I'm seeing a lot of Durangos, but it's like I'd love another Durango, but kind of got rid of my last one because the damn, for a lot of different reasons, but one of the big ones was gas. What is wrong with this one? Ew. Like some of these cars are just disgusting. Well, it's Las Vegas. Las Vegas has the highest insurance premiums in the country. And I found out there's two reasons why. So I found out when I joined AAA, when I asked the lady on the phone, my agent, she told me the reason why it's so expensive is because insurance companies check your credit as well. Now my credit's improved, but I paid off all my bad debts, so I have big fat zeros, which you would think is really good. But because there's no outstanding debts, then that doesn't help me at all. That's actually the really kind of sad thing. It's like, yeah, it's 100 points higher than it was a year ago, but it hasn't changed. It's staying there. My score is not improving. Plus, I have a bad history attached to my credit score, so there's not really much that I can do about it, which is really kind of disheartening. Anyway, so that's one reason why they're expensive. The second reason why they're so expensive, and I was doing some digging on this. I don't have it in front of me, and I can't remember the exact law, but there's essentially a law in Nevada that's supposed to help protect insurance companies when it comes to like bodily damages and stuff. So Las Vegas is one of the largest cities in the entire country, to include Hawaii and Alaska, to have hit and runs. Hit and runs, people getting run over, shit like that. Las Vegas is also pretty well known for those of you that live here. It's well known for lawyers. Well, no credit card company will take me. So my plan is to get a secure card, but a secure card you need to have a down payment on. So my plan is, once I buy a vehicle, once I get my insurance, once all that is done and I have money left over, I wanted to take like $200 or $300, put it in a secure card, and essentially just use that card for gas. Because it acts like a credit card, but there's already money in it. So whenever you pay something, that money runs as credit, but then it's directly paid because of the accounting and stuff. Yeah, that's the goal. That's the plan. So it's slow and steady. Yeah, so I'm fortunate. It's like what, 524, 526 right now. So my goal is I need to hopefully get to 620 by next year. That's the plan. Not this June, next June, 620. So starting off with secure cards and stuff, that's going to be the way to go. But slow and steady, one thing at a time. I am someone where anything more like I can multitask pretty good, but there are certain things in life that I cannot multitask very well. So I got to focus on one thing at a time. So focus on the vehicle, and then any additional funds, put it into a secure card and be good to go. The thing that sucks is you have to wait for the card to show up. So I have to be okay with putting $300 or however much into a secure card and waiting 2 weeks for the damn thing to show up. That's going to be really, really difficult for me, because that's $300 that could go towards food, could go towards gas and stuff like that. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself, one thing at a time. See, this is what I'm talking about. I overthink shit. Sup, poop looker? Not a poop looker. We know you are, though. Oh God, I'm not a big fan of the whole poop talk. That's, I don't even. I just gotta get it out of my head. Ugh. Anyway, what's going on with you, Gig Stacker? So this Facebook group that I'm a part of. So I know I said one thing at a time, right? Which is true. That's when handling shit in life. But I also need something to lift me up, right? I need a project I can stay active with, something that I can have some fun with. And this Facebook group, TaskRabbit Taskers United, I've been mentioning, hey, we should do a gig economy podcast. I think that'd be really good. And please, Poop Examiner, yes, of course. You got to get all the nitty gritty. I made a mention of it, and a lot of the taskers, a lot of people are down for it, but not a lot of people want to get on it. And honestly, I don't think that would really work out anyway. I mean, a lot of these guys on that Facebook group, like, they'll write a post, they'll write comments and stuff, but taking like 30, 40, maybe an hour out of your day or out of your week to sit down and do a podcast, not a lot of them really have time or energy for that. Oh, Madison, please, no more. Toss a coin to your witcher, oh valley of plenty, oh valley of plenty, oh. Okay. Sorry about that. So I had to move that. I typed all that in to push the chat up, so when I look at the chat, I don't hear all the poop things. Anyway. Yeah, spice it up, make it lively. That's cool. Oh my God. Rude. It's not rude. It's like there are certain things that people just don't want to talk about. Like, And that for me, you are welcome, and don't be triggered. Like I said, it's just some people, there are certain things they just don't want to discuss or think about or have images in their head. That's all. It's not being rude. 2015 Kia Soul, $2,000. I'm gonna click on this, and it's gonna be, oh, well, imagine that. Imagine that. It's a dealership. Yeah, I need to block this guy. I'm so sick of seeing ads from like listings from dealerships. Too late, Rip Madison. Oh, I'm sorry. I would never want to make any of my subs feel like they weren't being loved, because I love all my subs equally. Very little. Hey! I have an ever-growing list of people I block on Facebook. Because one of the ways I work around trying to look for a vehicle and I see nothing but dealerships, if I see a person that tries to sell a car and act like, oh, this is my own personal vehicle, by the way, we finance, I block them. You know, you can also click on their profile and it opens up a thing and you can see all their other listings. And when I see someone selling a car, but they have like 10 other fucking cars being sold, I'm like, well, this is a dealer. I want nothing to do with this. So I just block them, and it cleans up my marketplace. Now, for profiles that like pages that are dealerships, you can't block pages. It's weird. There's a difference between a profile and a page. Me and you, people, we have profiles. Businesses have pages. You can't block a business because you need to be open so Facebook can advertise. Here's an 04 Jeep Grand Cherokee limited sport utility 4-door. Horrible gas mileage. Oh my god. And it has no oil pressure, which I'm not a mechanic. Those words mean very little to me. I understand the word pressure and I understand the word oil. Bring them together, there's a oil pressure problem. I have no idea how to go about taking care of that or what it actually does to impact the operation of the vehicle. So I'm just looking. All right, so I'm using Craigslist, OfferUp, 5 Miles, Let Go, Facebook Marketplace, and the Nellis auction as well. Toss a coin to your witcher, oh valley of plenty, oh valley of plenty, oh, oh, oh. Yeah, so Nellis auction, I'm thinking of going to check it out, but I don't know, man. I was looking at the listings, and the one car that I was looking at that I was willing to place a bid on, it has a giant like fracture in the windshield. It's like I can't drive that, dude. You got to think about added costs, man. You got to incorporate added costs, and that shit is not cheap, not at all. It's another fucking dealership. What are you up to today? What is going on? 06 Mazda 3 has some issues. What's my take on Corona in the U.S.? Well, my take is I limit myself. Here's the thing about there's two things about the coronavirus. One is it's very timely. Well, actually, you know what? Fuck it. I'll not get into that. That's a me thing that has nothing to do with the actual virus. But so it's something that we do need to address, something that we do need to pay attention to. Me personally, I've limited myself to no more handshakes or anything. Every time I come in and out of the house, I'm constantly washing my fucking hands, because I got a family to think of. You know, there's no way I want any of them to get sick. You know, so it's made me a lot more mindful. So I landed the last time I was in Washington. The day I landed was the day that it was reported that coronavirus made it to the U.S. from some guy up in Seattle, and I was like, "What the hell, man?" And yeah, it's slowly been spreading, and we do need to pay attention to this shit. You know, we definitely got to pay attention to it. This isn't something that it's like I live under a rock. Is coronavirus a legitimate threat? Here's the thing. I'm one of those guys where it's like, dude, and here I am trying to look at cars. I'm one of those. Oh, this is all in Spanish anyway. I'm gonna offer this dude 14 for this Mazda. See if he'll take it. It's an 06. How many miles? Doesn't even say how many miles. Where was I? Oh yeah, the coronavirus. Sorry. Here's the thing, man. I've seen Facebook posts from mostly boomers and conspiracy theorists that are like, "Oh, every couple years we hear about some new deadly virus, and it's not that big of a deal." It's like, you know why it turns out not to be that big of a deal? Because containment. You know, we have groups of people, organizations where their entire jobs, their entire livelihoods are based upon the fact that they need to stop the spread of these viruses to the world. So that's why these dangerous viruses get stopped. And yeah, the media does kind of overplay it a bit much. You know, they kind of make things a lot more doom and gloom because it gets views, it gets clicks. But it's factual reality is that there are some deadly fucking microscopic shit in the world that will do all sorts of crazy harm to us. And if we just sit back and fucking laugh about it and ignore it, it's gonna sneak right up our fucking ass and fuck us without lube. So the only way that we can protect ourselves is to be proactive. So I would consider it, yeah, it's a legitimate threat if left unchecked. You know, we need to definitely do something about it. Now, as far as how much news I know about it, it's very brief. I really I don't listen to a whole lot of news at all, and that's mainly because the fact it's mainly because the fact that I just the news is just mainly because it's politics. You know, I'm so sick of politics, and it's just like I turn my brain off to the news. I'm kind of in that mode where I need to focus solely on me and the family. So I don't focus a lot on news. I don't let the news get me down. I pick up some things like the coronavirus, for example, because it is pertinent to my survival and my livelihood and the well-being of my family and all that. So I do focus on that, on things like that because it's necessary and it's needed. What's up, foibles? Still just looking at cars, man. Oh, damn it. I need to find a better envelope for all this. Oh, job searching? Fucking preaching to the choir, brah. Tell me about it. How's it going for you? It's no fucking 5, though. Oh, the one thing that I can't stand about, like, a lot of these listings that I've been looking at is I'll find a screaming deal, but the person, like, they put it up and they never fucking bother to take 2 minutes out of their day to mark it sold or to remove the listing. That's something that really, really irritates me. Why are you messing with an IT internship? I mean, I guess you got to get your foot in the door somehow, but don't you want a job that actually pays you? If you ask me, internships need to be outlawed. It's just fucking an excuse for free labor. It's bullshit. And that line of logic goes towards like the Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts of America selling their fucking chocolates and cookies and shit. Speaking of which, I bought some. Got some Samoas, some Thin Mints, and what are the other ones? The Dosey Does. Gotta love that child labor, man. But yeah, it's bullshit. It's just an excuse for fucking cheap labor. These computer science. I live in the South where IT jobs are slim pickings and hyper competitive. Computer science internships pay bank. Well, yeah, hypothetically in like Seattle, of course they would. You know, I mean, hell, even if you got like an internship working as like IT for Switch, which that's the main server farm out here in Vegas. There are some others, but Switch is the big one. Dude, I didn't get paid a penny when I did my internship at Encore, and I was working like full fucking time, and I wasn't just running and getting coffee and stuff. I was doing community manager shit. You know, I should have at least been making 15 an hour for that, but no, they didn't pay me shit because they labeled it as an internship. You know, and I wasn't allowed to miss any day. Like I was under the same scrutiny as a normal employee, under the same ruling and everything. But they refused to pay me. And like after 3 months, I'm like, is this internship done with? It's like, well, I think we might need another 3 months to see if you're a good fit. It's like, well, then I quit. Well, no, we need you. It's like, you're the one that set everything up for this. We don't have anyone that could replace you. And I'm like, well, then if I'm irreplaceable, pay me. Well, we really can't do that. It's just an internship. You don't even have your degree yet. And it's like, well, then I'm out. So it's like I fell in line with the indoctrination of you go to college, while in college, if you can, you work. If you want to get something that will help get your foot in the door in the future, you go for an internship. I listened to that whole indoctrination thing that the schooling taught me, and that society just shoves down your fucking throat when you're young. And then finally it just like kind of clicked in my head. It's like I'm tired of like following suit with what society tells me I should do. What do I want to do? What will benefit me? What will put money in my pocket? And that's essentially what led me into HVAC. And that same line of thinking led me away from HVAC. TDY. I mean, yeah, chasing the dream job is always tough. Especially something that lines up just perfectly with you. Um, damn foibles. Yeah, I don't know tremendously a whole lot about actually working in IT. I just know about what I know about internships, but holy shit, dude. Maybe Field Nation if you have any hands-on experience. That'd probably be a way to go, but I don't know if it's even available where you live. Probably. I would recommend watching Gig Stacker's channel because he has a lot of good brain knowledge on the matter. Hmm. I gotta turn my brain off on this. Like, all right, I'll check the marketplace one last time, any new listings, and then I'm gonna close this off because it's making my brain hurt. I love it when people like pull up to a gas station and just take pictures of their car at the pump. It's like some of these pictures, it's like, how do you expect to sell a car with these shit pictures, dude? And then you ask for like well over MSRP or Kelly Blue Book, I should say, or the Edmunds pricing. These are entry level positions are asking for 5+ years. So like I learned this too. Entry level does not mean entry level experience. Entry level is in regards to the pay scale. They're going to pay you entry level, but they require that you have so many years of experience. It's really hard to get your foot in the door anywhere. A lot. It's surprised. I think mainly because you live in the South, but I think by and large, like especially even IT, anything that's like an intrinsic in I can't speak. Anything that is considered a skill set, something that requires like education behind it. A lot of these things, people are, or those jobs are in high demand. They need people to come in. You know, my benefit. Here's the thing that I would say. This would be my advice. If it says entry level but 5+ years experience, apply anyway. Apply anyway. Let them know, hey, I understand you guys are looking for someone with 5 years plus experience. I don't have 5+ years experience, but you also did say entry level, so that's why I felt it was necessary. Hey, if it's entry level, it's a good way to get my foot in the door, and then you can kind of go into all the reasons why they should hire you. But that's what my recommendation would be. The whole year requirement thing, look at it more as what they're preferring to look for. They want to look for someone that has 5+ years experience, damn good at their job, is super efficient, knows everything, doesn't have to be trained very well, but they want to pay that person damn near minimum wage. Oh, they're not going to find that person. They're not. Those people with those qualifications get better jobs. They get better offers. They've been in the industry long enough to know people that work at other places that will most likely hire them what they are worth. So my recommendation is if it says entry level, apply anyway. Okay, because if that job listing's been up for a month and they've been like over person over person over person over person and it's just not working out, you know they're gonna get tired of it and eventually like fucking hire someone. Yeah, there is a sense of entitlement when it comes to internships. Is interns are literally treated like dog shit. I'm not saying everywhere. In my experience, they're kind of treated like dog shit. So at Encore, I was given no direction. because it was an internship. I wanted to learn, and I learned nothing from the people I worked with. Nothing. Um, I learned everything on my own. So when I kind of ran the nonprofit, I was the one that ran this nonprofit. I did all the community guideline, the community stuff. I set up the automated mailing system so that people could sign up for the newsletter. I wrote months and months worth of newsletters in advance with templates and everything. That way, if I had to change anything, like, oh wait, this thing we're going to change up this month. Let me just swap this out real quick. Like I did all this stuff. I would spend hours and hours and hours doing all this just fine. And I did all of this on a computer that barely worked. They had a Mac Mini. They wanted to have all Apple products because that's the trendy thing. It was a very millennial like company. Like me, I'm from the mindset where work is work, but there were times where they would want to have Nerf gun fights. Like the boss would come out and like, oh, we're doing Nerf gun fights, and if I were still at the fucking cubicle, I would get verbally reprimanded. It's like, hey, you kind of need to be a part of the team, and it's like, well, I don't want to shoot Nerf guns at people. I don't want Nerf guns being shot at me. I don't want to shoot Nerf guns. I don't want to get shot at. You know, and the thing that got me is I remember there was a conversation me and the owner were having. It's like, oh, you seem a little, I don't want to use the word antisocial, but you don't seem very, chatty or whatever. And it's like, well, I came here to work. I mean, that's kind of what my focus is I'm a damn good worker. And I'm still kind of new. I'm still getting the feel out for people and stuff here. I open up over time, when I feel comfortable. And we started talking, and he asked me about my history. I said after I was already working there. And he asked me about my history. He's like, oh, I was in the military. I was in the military and stuff. And, it's just weird being out because I connect more with people in the military than I do with civilians because at that point in time in my life, that was very true. It was really hard for me to connect with people that had no military background. It's like they just didn't get the kind of person that I was. I mean, it's obviously changed since then. I've been able to grow past that a little bit, but man. Anyway, shit. I lost my train of thought. The hell was I talking about? Oh yeah, and he made the mention. It's like, oh, yeah, I always thought about joining when I was younger, but I just never did. I ended up making this company instead. It's like I might be a millennial, but I grew up with my mom who owned her own company, and my dad, he was in the union. He was in a pavers union, heavy equipment union, a heavy equipment operator union, and they both had like my mom had her own company, made good money. My dad did his thing, made good money. We all had good benefits and everything, but they fucking worked for it. They worked their ass off. So that kind of was instilled in me growing up, where I have an extremely good work ethic. It's like if you give me a task and we're kind of working on it, I'm laser focused on it. You know, I will work my fucking ass off to get that shit done, and I will make sure it's done properly. That's just kind of how I've always been. So working somewhere where there's a lot of fucking around, it just kind of irritates. It's like, how does anything get fucking done? You know? And when I would ask for people, like I remember with the newsletters, it was so difficult because there was this other girl. She was in charge of like social media posts for a bunch of their clients, like for real estate and shit like that, like local stuff. She would like basically oversee people's different business Facebook pages and do posts and stuff like that. And I showed her the newsletter to like, hey, do you think that so and so will approve of this? And she's like, no, I don't think that's any good. And I'm like, well, can you tell me what's wrong with it? And she's like, well, it's just not good. It's like, can you pinpoint out specifically what the issue is? That way I know what's wrong with it so I can address it. It's like, well, we're kind of looking for things that will appeal to veterans. And I was like, you mean me? And she's like, well, not just you, but veterans that also like to go hiking and stuff. And it's like, okay, this is like bushcraft, outdoors, like types of things. There's also stuff about veteran services and stuff. And, there's different posts and blogs, articles about recent updates from the VA. a lot of these things are kind of in there for the demographic that you're looking for, and they kind of pinpoint that pretty well. So I don't know what's wrong. I just don't like the layout. Uh, Fix the layout, find some different articles, and just figure it out. And I was like, what the hell? She had a client come in one day, one of her real estate clients, and they were kind of like, because she had been like kind of on the fence, because I notice this a lot. When you're a real estate agent, it doesn't matter if you work for like Century 21 or whatever. When you, as a real estate agent, it's solely your job to promote yourself. It doesn't matter if you work for a company or not. It's your job because you're the salesman. So these people will make their own Facebook pages, business pages as a real estate agent, and the marketing is pretty intense when it comes to buying and selling homes. So what people will do is they'll go to marketing companies and say, hey, can you guys run a campaign for me so I can kind of, get some traction to these houses I'm trying to sell. And so they'll get the portfolio out with the different listing of houses in different areas and different pictures and stuff, and they'll shoot them out there. And what the company does is they get approval to be an admin on the Facebook page, and then they oversee all the ads for it, and they push the ads out. And there's this girl, because so her cubicle was right here, mine was right here. And the Contingency X people were in front of us. They were the guys that did the marketing for like weapons and shit. They had a bunch of deals with a bunch of like gun manufacturers and stuff. So they did all the advertisements for them. But so I'm sitting doing my thing for the nonprofit, and then this lady comes in, and I'm like eavesdropping, and she's like, so yeah, I'm pretty sure I'll stay with you guys another month. I've noticed on my end, I've seen some traction. I want to just kind of sit down and have a talk with like how we're going to improve now that people are actually like looking at the posts or whatever. So the girl sat down, went just to the Facebook page, and didn't even bother going into the actual analytics. Yo, what's up, 4K crew? So she didn't even bother going to the analytics, because the analytics do not lie. That's all the raw numbers that you need. So just based upon the Facebook page, she's like, oh yeah, look, see, you have hearts, or wait, I don't think they did hearts at the time. It was likes, right? There was likes, comments, whatever. So she's like, oh, look at all the likes you got. You have so many likes. I mean, before you came to us, you were probably getting 1 or 2 likes from friends and family, but now you have strangers that are actually seeing these posts and they're actually liking it, which means that these people like these houses. Like, she's trying to sell this to her. And all I said was, well, what's the engagement like? And she gave me the dirtiest fucking look in the world. And the lady was like, oh, what do you mean engagement? And I was like, well, there's a difference between likes and engagement. You want people to engage with your post over liking it. Because if someone likes it, they can like it for the picture or whatever. Hold on. But you want people to be commenting. You want people to be asking questions. You want people hitting you up in the DMs. Like, this is what you want. You want people engaging with the post instead of just liking a picture. And she's like, wow, really? That actually makes a lot of sense. And the girl was like backpedaling. She's like, well, that's like the dumbed down version. Don't listen to him. He's just the intern. And then the lady was like, oh, okay. And then she like went, it's like, that's all it took. Just call me the intern, and then everything I say is bullshit. And that's when I was like, pull up the analytics for her so she could see for herself. And she's like, what do you mean analytics? And I was like, well, when you run ads on Facebook, it's done through its own separate portal. And there's a whole bunch of data that tells you exactly how well your ads are doing. It gives you all the numbers to say if your ads are good or bad, basically. And I looked at the girl, I was like, that's the dumb version. That's the intern, layman terms for it. And she's like, well, she doesn't need to worry about analytics right now. And the lady was like, actually, I think I do. Can I see the analytics, please? And she's like, well, you got to understand, if you don't know how to interpret the numbers, they could mean anything. You really got to know what it means. And so she's like, well, I want to see the analytics. So she opened the analytics, and it's like, she had thousands and thousands and thousands of impressions on these posts. It was like tens of thousands of impressions. Not very many clicks. Like her click through ratio was like 1 out of every 200 people or whatever, or 2,000 people. It's like really bad. And so the girl's kind of like explaining this stuff. Well, she was, the whole company was. And I actually got in trouble for that. The boss told me, it's like, hey, you seem to know a pretty good deal about marketing. You never told us you knew about all that stuff. And I was like, this is simple social media stuff. I mean, I have to know this stuff because I have my own YouTube channel. Like, I know how these things work. I even told you during my interview that that's part of the reason why you hired me. And he's like, oh yeah, oh, I totally forgot about that. Well, yeah, but when clients come in and they're working with a certain person, just don't encroach. And I'm like, well, I mean, I don't want to call her a liar, but she was like admitting everything. Like, this is stuff that this woman needed to know. I mean, honestly, she made this page for her. She put out these ads, but they weren't benefiting this girl at all. And he's like, well, it takes time. She's been a client of us for about 7 months. And I'm like, 7 months? And like, she's had like no results from your advertisement? That sounds like your ads aren't working. She hasn't gotten any clientele from that was directed from any of your guys' traffic. He's like, well, see, you might know a little bit about marketing, but you don't know about sales. So that's the thing. We don't really focus on sales. We just focus on getting the word out there. If people just aren't interested in what she has, then it's oh well. Well, ultimately, that's what he told me. He's like, look, we need to make money, and we make money off of running advertisements. We market for people. They give us, a breakdown of what they want. We offer them, like, hey, we can do this for you or that for you, and then we do it. Whether or not they actually see any benefit from it is none of our concern. Our whole premise is to just make sure that we put out the ads that they want. If they want good results, well, they might have to spend more money or they might need to change up their strategy. But our clients are the ones that ultimately approve on the ads. And we only do ads that our clients want. It's like, so basically, and I didn't even tell them this, but I knew in my head, it's like, all you care about is getting the money. It's like, this client's going to leave you eventually. Was it business SEO or some shit? Yes and no, in a weird way. They were a marketing company, or they are. Hold on, let me see if they even still exist. All right, so I'm looking at. All right. I'm on the LinkedIn page and the Glassdoor page. So they have 3 reviews. Let's see the reviews. Whoops. Continue. Hold on. They don't let you see reviews unless you're logged in or whatever. Hold on, give me a second to pull this up. Oh my God, I don't care about my profile. I'm not making a profile. All right. No. Go back to Glassdoor. I just want to see the reviews, but it won't let me. Let's see. Encore team. 11 to 50 employees. When I was there, they probably had 11, including me at the time. Oh my fucking God, dude. Everything in the world wants you to fucking log in. Like, are you serious? Well, all right. So LinkedIn doesn't give you any reviews. Okay, marketing assistant. I've been working at this place part-time for more than a year. Great entry-level marketing position for people who are about to graduate or just graduate. Gain lots of experience in digital marketing, copywriting, photography, and social media. Company is still young and growing, so wage and benefits are minimal. That's the con. See all 3 reviews. I'm already logged in, so small company. I worked at Encore Marketing full-time for more than a year. Great entry-level job. Owner is cool and is open to really letting you learn and take control. Company's small, so everything is fairly family oriented and oh, come on. It won't let me see the whole review for whatever reason. And friendly. Company is growing, so wages are low. Sometimes you have to juggle multiple jobs and tasks outside your expertise because the team is so small. Entry level, experience, and pay. It's pretty casual. Everyone who works there is easy to get along with. The employees are motivated to be better and do great work. President of the company is pretty flexible. Cons. Coming out of college, you're expected to use what you learn to use. Oh, typically, yeah. But the heads of the company themselves don't have a lot of college education. It's mostly knowledge learned along the way. Oh my god. It wants me to add a review before I can finish reading the reviews. Not a lot of room for innovative thinking, can be a little stiffy, pay could be better. So those are the reviews for where it's currently at, but oh, and their website is down. Their official website is down. So I don't think that they're actually even open anymore. Yeah, their official website is down. That's crazy. Bunch of dumb assholes trying to take advantage of kids then. I mean, like, don't get me wrong, the owner was cool, but the company made a shitload of money, and the owner himself, him and his wife also worked there. You could tell like they were not shy about flexing how much money they had. And it's a smaller company, you know. It's one thing if it was a much larger company, you know, it's just like so a small company like this, as disorganized as it was, and the owner would like walk around flexing how much money he makes, while the people that like he hires people to work for fucking free, and then the people that do work there, they make like maybe $11 or $12 an hour. I mean, I'm not up for raising the minimum wage, but like in that situation, these were people like there were some people there that like, dude, why are you working here? The guys that worked at Contingency X, the guys that worked on like a lot of the 3D modeling and stuff, a lot of their video editors, their videographers, it's like you're a videographer and you're making $12 an hour. Dude, no, you're an editor and you're making $12 an hour. You're like you have a crazy good skill set, and the work that they produced, like I'm telling you, if you would see some of the advertisement that team would make, it would blow your fucking mind, because these guys, like, they were very talented, they were very fucking good at what they did, and they didn't fuck around. Like, these guys were fucking golden. And it's like I was astounded that they made as little as they do, you know. It's like there are guys that get paid $3,000 just for one YouTube video. I know that like PewDiePie, he pays his editors thousands of dollars per fucking video, you know, because these things matter, you know. uh, I don't know, man. It's like it's so frustrating seeing people getting taken advantage of like that, you know. But I get it. It's like it's a marketing company, this, that, and the other. But and I'm not one. It's like, oh well, you know, if you own the company, yeah, you should you should profit pretty good, but like at least pay the fuckers in the social media side, pay them like $15 an hour. You know, the video production crew, put them, you know, put them on like some sort of independent contractor thing where it's a flat, you know, you pay them a flat fee and they come in for every project or something like that. You know, like these are kind of things that I would kind of do to kind of make things fair overall. You know, redesign the company to kind of, you know, actually help your clients as opposed to just fucking grubbing money from them. Oh, I see. As soon as you land an internship, it's already time to start applying, pretty much. Oh yeah, yeah. PewDiePie, he actually did. And his thing is because he puts out videos like, well, you know, he puts them out pretty regularly. I know he took a break for like a month, but you know, he has multiple editors. He doesn't just have one. Because he throws work around so he doesn't overlog. You know, like if he plans out with coming out with 5 videos in a week, he's not going to put all 5 videos on one guy. He disperses them amongst his team. So, and they seem kind of similar, but between his 2 editors, you can tell there's different styles per video. If you know, you can look into it, or you don't have to. No, I don't know what I'm saying. Ignore me. Anyway, I'm gonna probably lay down. My head is killing me because I'm so stressing out about this damn car shit. Still, I can't turn it off. So I need to force it down. You know what I mean? I'm your oh so glorious and beloved Mace Valor. You guys give me the last word. What you guys got for me? What do you got for me? What is the name? What is the name? What's the Oh yeah, fingers crossed. I know I'll find something. Spooderman. As always, I'm the oh so glorious and beloved Mace Valor. I'm your oh so beloved and glorious Mace Valor. Sign off.